Hello everyone and welcome back to Flo's Corner. So in this video I'm going to be showing you how to make candied pineapples without using any corn syrup. You can also use this for any candied fruit you'd like to make. So in this video, the star of our show is going to be some sliced pineapples, and I also use some chunk pineapples. You are more than welcome to use any brand of your choice. You can also use fresh pineapple as well if you'd like. So first, I like to pour the juice from both of the cans into a cup. Like I said, I do not waste here. My kids normally love to drink the pineapple juice, so it doesn't go to waste. Just a quick tip, when purchasing your canned pineapples, always purchase the one that says packed in pineapple juice and not the one that says in syrup. Normally when I'm using the pineapple chunks, I like to pour it out into a bowl just so I can see them better. And now I'm just going to take a few of them, place them on some napkins, or you can use paper towels, either or. And I like to pat them as dry as possible. I will link down in the description box below how to make candied pineapples. And in that video, I am using pineapple slices. And this is my first video using the pineapple chunks. With your pineapples, you always want to really make sure that you get them dry, because you don't want any moisture to go into your candy mixture, because it will make your candy mixture seize up terribly, which means it's going to get very hard. So definitely always make sure that you are drying them as much as possible. I don't always feel that you get them 100% dry, but get it to at least like 90% before you freeze them. I have experimented in the past on doing the pineapples without drying them, like just taking them out of the can and putting them in the freeze. I had dipped them into the mixture and it made my mixture seize up real bad. They were just too juicy and it was a complete fail, but I'm glad I did it because I saw the importance of the drying process and it is very crucial. So here I'm just using some skewers. Y'all know I love to use skewers in my pineapples. Like I said, I know how to dip them without the skewers, not the pineapple chunks in particular, but the pineapple slices where you dip half of it, let it dry, and then dip the other half. But I just prefer to use the skewers because it's just much easier, or even just a long toothpick. I always prefer to use these because, like I said, I have burned my hands in the past doing candied fruit, and that candy mixture on your skin is no joke. It almost feels like a third-degree burn. I was feeling my fingers burning for days. It's literally one of those feelings that I do not recommend you doing by accident. So try to always be safe when dipping your candied fruit in that hot old candied mixture. Now, normally with my pineapple slices, I like to dry it off again after I use the skewer, because sometimes I do feel like, just getting it through both sides, it kind of makes the pineapple get a little bit more moist, which, like I said, you really want to get it as dry as possible. Nothing aids in your candy mixture seizing up when you're dipping. Just touching up earlier in the video when I said it really doesn't matter what can of pineapples that you like to use. I do get that question a lot about which certain can or brand that I use, and honestly, it doesn't really matter. I've used anything that I can afford and it works just as fine. Now, the minimum to freeze them should be between 6 to 8 hours. I will not lie. I have froze pineapples before in 4 hours and used them. But like I said, that was just for me and my family. These in particular were frozen for actually 2 days because I just didn't get to it. But now we are going to start on our candy mixture. So if y'all have watched my other candied fruit videos, then you pretty much have it embedded, the same recipe that I always use for my candy mixture. But because this candy mixture recipe does not include corn syrup, so all I did was just tweak it a bit, which I'm still using my 2 cups of granulated white sugar. I'm going to still add my half a cup of water, and instead of my 1/4 cup of corn syrup, I like to use 2 tablespoons of distilled white vinegar. Now you can also use apple cider vinegar as well, or you can use any type of lemon juice or something acidic. So this is one of the most popular questions that I get when making candy fruit is, why do you have to use corn syrup? Well, corn syrup contains glucose, and glucose has just enough acidity to actually prevent the sugar from crystallizing when you are trying to make a candy mixture, which means you're heating up and cooking the candy mixture. So that's what gives you that nice smooth look that hard candy normally looks like. So when I'm using the vinegar, it's also acidic, which actually is going to help just the same to not crystallize that sugar, so you can still get that really nice, smooth and clean finish on your candied fruit. They actually have recipes, lots of recipes on how to make candies and lollipops, and some of them do contain using vinegar. So definitely check that out. But this is the reason why we use corn syrup in our candied mixture. I really hope that answered a lot of questions, because like I said, that is one of my main questions, is why on planet Earth do we need corn syrup to make these beautiful candied fruit? And trust me, it's definitely for better purposes than just adding more sweetness to your candied fruit. So back to the video. Here I'm just going to be using some red food coloring. This is the liquid one. Y'all know I normally like to use my gel, but I did mention in my Candy Great videos that if you're going to use any type of liquid food coloring or liquid flavoring, always add that in the beginning before you place your candy mixture onto the stove, because once it starts to cook, you do not want to add any type of liquid to it, because you are going to have your candy mixture seize up, and you don't want that. So always remember, liquid color and liquid flavoring needs to go in before you place this onto the stove, and gel food coloring and gel flavoring, you can add it in the mixture when it is cooking. You can also do it prior if you like as well. I prefer to do my gel when it hits 250 degrees. So this is my gel whitener, but I am going to add it in the beginning because, like I said, I did use a liquid food coloring for this particular candied mixture. So I'm just adding the whitener right now, and then I'm going to place it onto the stove. If you're wondering what whitener does to your candy mixture, it stops the candy mixture from having a translucent look, which normally means it looks clear. It'll be the color of it, but it also look kind of clear. So I like to add the whitener to take that clearness away. Here I'm just using my candy thermometer, and I'm going to place it on the side of my pot. Like I always say, never put it to the bottom of the pot to give you a false reading. For my flavoring, I am going to wait to add that in when my mixture turns 250 degrees. So now we are going to start with our toppings. This is totally optional. You do not have to use any toppings, but for this purpose of this video, I am. Here I just have some Jolly Ranchers that I purchased at my regular Dollar General. These are just 2 little packs. That's like $1 and change. Very inexpensive. You are more than welcome to buy the bigger pack, but it's going to be a little bit more. And did y'all just see me struggling to open that? Normally it has a slit at the top, which makes it easier for you to open, but I guess these 2 bags did not. So I'm just going to open both of these. They normally come with 5 different flavors. My first thing that I like to do, I like to just place them on a little platter, and I like to separate them by the color, because normally I go for a certain color scheme whenever I'm making toppings for certain candy fruit. You don't have to do that like I do it. Like I said, I'm just going for certain color schemes normally when I do it. If you're just going to add all of them, then no problem. But here I have 4 flavors. Y'all see here, and I'm missing one because, like I said, it's supposed to be 5 flavors. Like, where is it at? Okay, so the front of the package says blue raspberry as the top one, and both of these packages did not come with any blue. So that's so funny, because the last time I've had it, it came with like a few of them, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Where you at? Where they at, bruh? So the crazy thing is that luckily I didn't make my candy mixture blue, because if I would have needed the blue raspberry Jolly Ranchers, I would have been out of luck. So luckily I did the candy mixture red. It's so weird because I honestly filmed the candy mixture first before I even opened these bags, and I'm so glad I did, because yeah. But anywho, I'm just only going to use the watermelon and the cherry ones because, like I said, I'd like to go for a certain color scheme. And I'm just going to add a little bit of some powdered sugar so the candy mixture does not get stuck to one another. So I would say maybe about 1 to 1.5 tablespoons because of how many of the Jolly Ranchers that I had. Don't judge me, y'all. I don't have the top part to my blender. I honestly don't know where it is. It's lost in my house somewhere. So I got to shield it with my hand. And I'm just going to put it on the grind setting just so that it can grind up some of my candy for less than 5 seconds, honestly. Don't fret that it gives you a smoky appearance, but that's just normally how it looks every time that I do my candied with the powdered sugar. So you can stop right here. If you notice the candy pieces is the size that you want them, I actually wanted them just a little bit smaller than that. So I just pressed grind just for less than a half a second, and then I turned it right off, and there you go. I have it the consistency that I wanted it. So here I just like to take a small little spoon, and then I just like to go around just to make sure that they're all incorporated with the powdered sugar. You might have little tiny chunks of powdered sugar in there, and that's perfectly okay, because like I said, going after it with the spoon is going to help actually dissolve that in there. And this is literally what my toppings is going to look like. And I'll just set that aside while my candy mixture is still going. So I'm going to be using the L'Orange strawberry flavoring, and I told y'all I like to add it when it hits 250 degrees. So here it is at 250 degrees. This was already half a bottle from the last time that I've used it. So here I'm going to show you what the pineapples look like. They are all frozen. I said they have been in there for over 48 hours, but you're more than welcome to dip them between 6 to 8 hours or overnight for better results. And now it is dipping time. So here we go. Once your candy mixture reaches 300 degrees, remove it from the heat immediately. Place a pot holder underneath the pot so you do not burn your plates or your countertops. Because of the pineapple chunks, I'm going to take 2 to 3 out at a time to dip them, because they will start to defrost and we don't want any of that moisture to harden and seize up our candy mixture. For your pineapple slices, I only recommend taking 2 out at a time. Do not take out more than that, because like I said, it'll start to defrost. And also a quick tip, make sure to place your dipped candied pineapples onto a silicone mat or parchment paper. You don't want to place it on a regular plate because it will get stuck, and when you're trying to take it off, the candy will break. So for the first few of them, I just like to dip them and place them on the silicone mat. I like them to just be original with no toppings on them. And for these pineapples, I'm going to dip them into the mixture, and then I'm going to take my little spoon and just pour that topping on top. You can actually have it roll around in there and have the spoon just aid placing all of that topping on top of your candied fruit. A quick tip that I have is to place the topping on as soon as you finish dipping it into the candy mixture. You don't want to dip and place the actual fruit down, because it will harden fairly quickly and it will be hard to place any of your toppings on top once that candy has hardened. So just the same as we did the pineapple chunks, I'm just going to scoop up some with the spoon, and then I'm going to place it onto the pineapple. It is up to your discretion on how much topping you want to place on your candied fruit, whether you're making it for a customer or if you're making it for yourself. It's always up to your discretion. If you feel that you don't want to put too much, then don't. If you want to add more, then do. The possibilities are endless. You can use so many toppings of your choice. You can use sour powder, sanding sugar, other types of candies besides Jolly Ranchers that you can blend and make into smaller pieces. Like I said, it's just so many things that you can try on candied fruit. And I always recommend in all of my candied fruit videos that this is not something you should eat every day. I honestly don't think it's something you should eat every week. But once a month, or just when you just want a sweet tooth, have a sweet tooth once in a blue, I do feel that this is a very good treat that satisfies that sweet tooth. But like I said, I don't recommend eating this every day or even every week. Try to limit it, because it is made of a candied coating, candied mixture, and like I said, that can be very sweet and you don't want to harm your health in any way. So moderation is always key. Another quick tip that I forgot to mention earlier in the video is that whenever you are making candied fruit, always put a little extra, especially when you're making your pineapples, the ones that you have to freeze, because if one just decided to just fall off the stick or just became a fail, at least you have more that you have frozen that can combat that, which means that you can have extra just in case you come across something that didn't go right. So always remember that, because you normally can't go back. If you have like grapes, you normally can just add more grapes when you have a fail or anything like that. But with the fruit, like the ones that you freeze, if you don't freeze enough and extra, then yeah, you'll come into your fail and then you're stuck, especially if you were making it for a customer, and you don't want that because you normally do candied fruit the day that you're going to deliver them. And like I said, if you don't have enough, then you're stuck. So always remember that. But here they are. Here are all of my pineapples that I dip. I have the slices on the left and the chunks on the right. If you are wondering if the vinegar takes away any of the flavor, please do not worry about that, because honestly they taste just as good as if you was making them with corn syrup. If anything, I would say that vinegar combats a little bit of the sweetness of the sugar, but it's still sweet enough where it tastes still good and delicious. Never fret when anyone says that they don't want any of their product because it comes with corn syrup. You do have another way of making that, and I hope that has helped you a whole lot. You still get your shine on your fruit just as much as you would with your corn syrup. Make sure to put them in an airtight container and freeze them to store them. Or you can make it up to an hour prior before your customer is coming to pick them up. I hope this tutorial was helpful. Please give this video a like, and I hope to see you all in my next video. Bye.